When the rumors first surfaced that Charlie Kirk's parents had serious reservations about Erika long before their marriage, the internet exploded with speculation. Whispers of private disagreements and unspoken tension began flooding social media, each post adding more heat to an already controversial fire. People claimed that Kirk's inner circle had seen red flags that Charlie ignored, that his parents had warned him to slow down, and that their lack of public affection toward Erika wasn't coincidence, it was caution. What really fueled the chaos, though, was a leaked clip from an old family interview that fans swore showed Charlie's mother's discomfort whenever Erika's name came up. "You can see it in her eyes," one viewer tweeted. "She didn't trust that woman from day one." Whether true or not, the story took on a life of its own, spreading faster than anyone could control. Was it family drama, a clash of personalities, or something deeper, something the Kirks were keeping from the world? Now, as new details begin to emerge from those close to the family, one thing's clear: whatever happened behind closed doors didn't stay there for long. And for the first time, the people who raised Charlie may finally be ready to tell the world why they never trusted Erika Kirk in the first place. The story began quietly, just a whisper in conservative circles, a few murmurs in comment threads, and one cryptic post from someone who claimed to have worked close to the Kirk family. According to that source, Charlie Kirk's parents had expressed private doubts about Erika long before the two ever got married. To the outside world, Charlie and Erika seemed like the perfect power couple: young, ambitious, polished, and ideologically aligned. But behind closed doors, those closest to the Kirks allegedly saw warning signs that something about the match didn't feel right. Before the fame, before the Turning Point empire, Charlie had always been described by those around him as humble and laser-focused. His parents, especially his mother, were said to be fiercely protective of that side of him. They supported his rise but kept a cautious eye on those drawn to his growing platform. So when Erika came into the picture, charming, confident, and already navigating high-profile social circles, they took notice, and not in the way she might have hoped. It wasn't that they didn't like her, a family acquaintance later claimed. It was that they didn't trust her motives. According to people familiar with the family dynamic, Charlie's parents were skeptical of how quickly things between the two escalated. Within months of meeting, Erika was appearing beside him at events, managing aspects of his schedule, and becoming a visible figure in his brand. It was like she became part of the business before she became part of the family, one source remarked. That didn't sit right with his parents. They wanted to see a real connection, not just a professional alignment. Those same sources claimed that small moments at family gatherings revealed a growing divide. At one dinner, when Charlie's mother mentioned wanting to plan a family trip, Erika allegedly interrupted and said, "We'll have to see what works for our calendar," speaking for both of them. His mom didn't like that. Another source recalled, she felt like Erika was taking control of her son's life. Slowly but surely, things only intensified as Charlie's fame grew. The Kirks had built their reputation on integrity and discretion, quiet influence, not public spectacle. Erika, however, was different. She embraced the spotlight, co-hosting events, attending galas, and frequently posting curated glimpses of their lifestyle online. She's branding their relationship, a friend of the family allegedly told a journalist. It's not love, it's PR. When the couple finally announced their engagement, the reactions were mixed. Friends congratulated them publicly, but behind the scenes, people whispered that Charlie's parents weren't thrilled. His dad tried to play it cool, one person claimed, but his mom, you could tell she wasn't convinced this was the right move. She smiled for the photos, but her eyes told another story. The wedding itself, according to those in attendance, was grand but oddly formal, more like a political fundraiser than a celebration of love. The guest list was full of high-profile figures, donors, and media personalities, but noticeably absent were several of Charlie's longtime friends from his hometown. It felt curated, one attendee described, like an image they were trying to project, not a real union. Not long after the ceremony, rumors began circulating that Charlie's relationship with his parents had cooled. He stopped visiting as often, family holidays were quieter, and phone calls reportedly became rare. Those close to the family said it wasn't an outright estrangement, but a slow drifter. Gap widened by unspoken tension and conflicting loyalties. Charlie was torn, a source explained. He loved his parents, but he also felt like they didn't support his wife. Erika saw that and used it to her advantage. The more they questioned her, the more she made herself the victim. By the time Charlie's parents finally decided to pull back entirely, the damage was done. They stopped commenting publicly on anything involving their son and his wife. They realized they couldn't say anything without being painted as the villains. Someone familiar with the situation said, so they stayed quiet. But make no mistake, they never trusted her. Not from the beginning. And as the couple's public profile continued to rise, posing for magazine shoots, attending conservative conferences side by side, those who knew the real story couldn't help but wonder, had Charlie fallen in love? Or had he been carefully managed into a partnership that benefited everyone but his own peace of mind? By the time Charlie and Erika Kirk became a regular fixture at political galas and conservative conferences, the whispers about family tension had grown louder. What had begun as quiet unease among friends of the Kirks had evolved into an open secret in certain circles. Charlie's parents were no longer close to their son. To the public, the couple looked perfectly aligned, Erika smiling confidently at his side, speaking eloquently about faith and family values, but behind that image, there was distance, cold and unmistakable. Several people close to the family began to notice this shift after the wedding. Charlie used to call his mom every day, one family friend recalled. He'd update her on his travels, tell her about new projects. But after he got married, the calls stopped. She'd reach out and sometimes weeks would go by before he responded. It wasn't long before the Kirks' inner circle began connecting the dots. It wasn't just life getting busy, the friend said. It was deliberate. Erika wanted control over the narrative and that included who Charlie let into his world. According to those who had attended private events with the family, the divide grew most apparent during holidays. One source claimed that during a Thanksgiving gathering, Charlie's parents invited both him and Erika to a small family dinner back home in Illinois. But instead of showing up, the couple sent a short text hours before the meal. "We're doing our own thing this year. Hope you understand." Friends say the message devastated Charlie's mother. "She told me it was like losing her son twice," the friend revealed. First to fame, then to Erika. Over the next year, the relationship between Erika and Charlie's parents became increasingly strained. At one fundraiser, witnesses claimed that Charlie's father politely tried to make small talk with Erika, asking about her upcoming speaking engagements. She smiled. One person recounted, but it was one of those smiles that didn't reach her eyes. You could feel the frost in the air. It was like every word was rehearsed. After that night, the two were rarely seen together in public again. Those who know the family say the distrust wasn't born from malice, it was concern. Charlie's parents had always been careful about who surrounded their son, worried that his growing platform made him vulnerable to manipulation. They felt like Erika saw opportunity in him. A longtime family acquaintance explained. Not love opportunity. They didn't trust that she was in it for Charlie the person. They thought she was in it for Charlie the brand. That perception only deepened as Erika's visibility increased. Within a year of their marriage, she was co-hosting events, sitting on panels, and being introduced as a visionary voice alongside her husband. It was like watching a rebranding. One insider said, she went from being Erika the media personality to Erika Kirk, the wife, the influencer, the figurehead. And Charlie's parents hated that. They didn't recognize the version of their son who was smiling next to her. Family insiders say the final breaking point came when Charlie's parents invited the couple to an anniversary celebration. Everyone expected it to be a turning point in Olive Branch, a chance to mend old wounds. But according to one person present, things went downhill fast. Erika and Charlie showed up late, and when they arrived, she barely spoke to anyone. She stayed on her phone most of the night, checking social media. When Charlie's mother tried to engage her in conversation about their marriage, Erika allegedly said, "Everything's fine. You don't need to worry about your son. He's exactly where he needs to be." The room went silent. It was the tone, the source said. It wasn't what she said, it was how she said it. Like she was making it clear that they didn't have a say anymore. After that night, things were never the same. Charlie's parents reportedly stopped reaching out. They didn't make public statements, didn't comment on his appearances, didn't even attend major turning point events where they used to be seen in the early years. Behind the scenes, the estrangement took its toll on Charlie too. Friends noticed that his energy changed. He became more cautious, less open. His once spontaneous humor replaced by talking points. He used to be the guy who'd crack jokes, who felt approachable, said one person who had worked with him for years. Now, it's all business. Every move feels calculated. And honestly, that started after Erika came into the picture. Those close to the Kirk family insist that Charlie's parents never wanted to see their son. Unhappy, they just didn't want to see him controlled. They raised him to lead, not to be led, a relative said. But once Erika was in the picture, it was like she took the driver's seat. And the more people pointed that out, the more defensive Charlie became. That's when his parents knew there was no getting through to him. Despite the public silence, insiders say the Kirks' mistrust never faded. They supported their son privately, but always with guarded hearts. They love him, no question, said a source close to the family. But as for Erika, they don't see her as family. They see her as someone who built walls where bridges should have been. And while neither Charlie nor Erika ever publicly addressed the tension, people who'd been around them could feel it. In interviews, whenever Charlie mentioned his parents, his tone was polite but distant. And whenever Erika was asked about her relationship with her in-laws, her smile seemed to tighten just enough to give it away. By now, the rift had become a quiet truth, the kind everyone knew, but no one said out loud. Charlie's parents might not have spoken publicly, but their silence said more than any statement ever could. They hadn't lost their son completely, but they no longer trusted the woman who had built her world around him. And to this day, the people who know the Kirks best will tell you the same thing. The wounds never healed. And the distance between them still lingers like a shadow over the perfect picture the world thinks it sees. Months passed, and what had once been quiet tension between Charlie's parents and Erika finally erupted into a full-blown rift that no amount of polite smiles could hide. By the time reporters started noticing that Charlie's parents were conspicuously missing from major turning point events, those who knew the family best already understood. The relationship had fractured beyond repair. People close to the Kirks said the last straw came during a televised charity gala. Charlie had been scheduled to introduce his parents as honored guests. But when the moment came, the program abruptly changed. Instead, Erika took the stage beside him, delivering a speech about family values that many insiders believed had been meant for his mother. You could see the discomfort on their faces. One attendee recalled, his parents were sitting right there, blindsided. It wasn't just disrespect. It was erasure. After that night, they withdrew completely. Invitations went unanswered, calls unreturned. Charlie's parents stopped posting family photos altogether. A quiet protest against the carefully curated image Erika projected online. Yet, in interviews, they never spoke negatively about her by name. Their old school said, a relative. They'd rather stay silent than feed gossip. But if you ask them privately, they'll tell you they never trusted her. Not with their son, not with their family legacy. Meanwhile, Erika continued to present a picture of perfection. Her social media posts featured motivational captions, snapshots of charity work, and smiling couple selfies. To the public, she and Charlie were thriving. But behind the polished veneer, insiders noticed subtle cracks. Friends said Charlie had become increasingly distant, focused on work to avoid tension at home. He's a good man caught between two worlds, one friend admitted. He knows his parents were right about some things, but he's too deep in it to admit it. Over time, the story of the Kirk family's division became a cautionary tale whispered at donor events and political circles. Some said Erika had strategically distanced Charlie from anyone who questioned her influence. Others insisted it was simply a case of two worlds colliding, traditional family values versus modern ambition. But no matter how people framed it, the ending felt the same. Trust lost, bridges burned. And a family that once seemed unbreakable, now quietly divided years later. When asked during a rare interview about the most important lesson they'd learned from raising a son in the public eye, Charlie's mother reportedly paused, smiled sadly, and said, "Fame changes people. But the ones it changes most are the ones who let the wrong person whisper in their ear." It was the closest she ever came to addressing Erika by name, and the clearest confirmation yet of what everyone had long suspected. The Kirks hadn't just lost faith in their son's wife. They'd lost faith in what she turned him into. And though the public image remained polished, those who'd seen the private pain behind it knew the truth. Sometimes the greatest rifts aren't caused by enemies, but by the people welcomed closest to the family table. If the Kirk family's story teaches anything, it's that trust once broken can never be fully repaired. Behind the smiles, the speeches, the public image lies a truth too many families know. When ambition overshadows loyalty, love becomes performance, and connection turns into control. Charlie's parents didn't lose their son overnight. It happened slowly, through distance, silence, an influence that felt more calculated than caring. Their story is a reminder that sometimes the people who claim to protect your best interests are the very ones steering you away from those who truly love you. Power, fame, and image can blind even the strongest minds. But truth always finds its way to the surface. If this story resonated with you, share it. Because family isn't just about blood, it's about trust. And once that's gone, all the money, fame, and image in the world can't buy it back. Stay tuned for more stories that pull back the curtain and reveal what really happens behind the headlines. Because, in the end, every secret eventually comes to light.